Hey guys, this is Brian coming to you from my dungeon/office. I know it's been a little while since I've written or posted anything on Scary Fast. It's been many months since the Kindle book version came out in February. Since then, I've been working very, very hard to get it out into print. And excitingly, as of this morning, it is live, finally. After much suffering and trial and error, it's finally out there. Now, why a print version? Well, apparently only 20% of people will read an ebook. Everybody thought it would trend higher, that more people who are readers would abandon print books and switch over to ebooks. But really, it's kind of topped out at about 20% or a fifth of the marketplace. Lots of people really still like print books. And as you can see behind me, I like print books. I only got a Kindle reader because I was going to be traveling for a long time in Europe, and I couldn't carry all these books with me. Also, e-readers have gotten a lot better, but there's something magical about holding a real book in your hands, being able to smell the pages. It's pretty nice, especially if you don't have an e-reader like a Kindle and you're reading Scary Fast or some other ebook on your phone or your iPad. That's bad news. That's not fun. So, very excited about this. You may be surprised to learn that this is actually not the first book that I've put into print. 13 years ago, I self-published a work of juvenile fiction about a neurotic homeless man named Joan, and so this bad boy came out. Maybe some of you have read it at some point if you knew me back then. And I didn't stop there. I actually self-published a second book about Joan, The Next Adventures of Joan. And so this is not the first my first foray into self publishing, but it wasn't a terribly satisfying or successful attempt at self publishing, of having doing a print book, and that was for two reasons. Number one, I was using Cafe Press to have the book printed, and which was really one of the only options back then to do something print on demand, which means I don't go and I buy 500 or 1,000 copies from a printer, but I just set it up where if somebody wants one, they buy one, it's printed for them, it's sent to them. But it was very, very expensive, and so I ended up making the page count as low as I possibly could by making the page, like the words, really, really small, and to make the page count. And so it ended up being like really like a thin book and not really a very satisfying product by the time it was over. So it wasn't very satisfying in the end to get the final form. It was cool, but it was not I wasn't super pleased with it. And then the second thing is where do I sell it? Because Cafe Press wasn't really a platform for that kind of thing, for books and whatnot. It was more like t-shirts and mugs and other printed items. And they don't even sell books on demand the way that they did back then anymore. So for that reason, it was just kind of a fun thing. And there's a few of these copies floating around in the world that people bought off me personally, and that hopefully will be very valuable someday. So if that's you, if you've got a signed copy of The Adventures of Joan, I'd hang on to that. Don't throw it away yet. But today we have this amazing option to self-publish on Amazon, and their system is so efficient. It's at the fraction of a cost per page compared to what I was doing in Cafe Press, and it's instantly available in the largest bookstore in the world. So it's 100% print on demand. You order it, they print one in Michigan, they ship it to you, just the one book. So it's pretty exciting. I don't have my own final copy yet, since the listing only went live just this morning, but I do have some copies that are like the proof copies. Magical. You can see it says not for resale on them, because Amazon didn't make any money in these. They just sold it to me at cost, which is a great way to do it when you're trying to dial in the formatting. I was learning a lot through this process. One of the things I had to choose was whether I wanted a shiny cover or if I wanted a more matte style cover. And matte won because shiny looks and feels cheap, and it's already started to peel the shiny part off on the edge, and so that was unacceptable. Whereas The matte version feels like velvet, and you just want to rub your face on it, which I won't do on camera. Maybe later. But so the matte version won, and it is now live. So if you're watching this, most of you probably already have the Kindle version. You picked it up at some point, maybe even back in February, the very first version that went out. However, if you are interested in having the print edition for your collection, know that this is about 10 updates past where that original version went out in February. There were some large problems, mistakes, and some minor ones, and so I've made many revisions and fixed those. Moved some things around, added some clarifying material to a section that was confusing people. Moved the warnings out of the first chapter. I don't know why I included them in there, so they're kind of in their own front part. And even added a 13th basic skill that somehow had eluded its inclusion before. So it's about 95% the same material, 5% improvement. If you haven't gotten anything yet, Scary Fast, any Kindle thing yet, and you opt to get the Kindle thing at this point, you will get the same material that's in this. That's been updated all along, and it's like on version like 11 or something like that. There's just a few formatting changes between the print and the Kindle version. Kindle version is still $2.99. That's been the best price point that I've been able to dial in on. The print version will be $8.99, but right now I plan to buy a stack of them for myself to manually bring up into Canada, and so I put it on sale to save myself money. So it's $5.99 for like the next week or so until I've got my copies safely, and then I'm gonna crank it back up to $8.99. I wasn't sure if it would ship to Canada because my proof copies wouldn't, but the now that it's live, I can see that I can ship it to Canada, but it's not free shipping. US free shipping for Prime members, which is great. So you just literally pay that, and if you have sales tax in your state or whatever. But for Canada, they add their shipping and all of that. So it ends up being more like $13 US at the current price. So once it goes up to $8.99, it would be even more. So something to consider if you are in Canada and you want to order a copy from the US and have it shipped up here. I would do that while the price is lower. Alternatively, if you live in this area, you know me personally, I will be getting like 10 copies, and I can get it to you for like $10 Canadian, no shipping, no tax, just $10. And so if you're interested in that, I'm only gonna have so many, so maybe message me or something to reserve one, and I should have those, I don't know, whenever I'm able to make a trip to grab them and get them up here. I'll put the direct link in the post here somewhere below. It's not finished syncing up in the system completely. It's there, but it doesn't show up on my author page. It's not linked to the Kindle listing yet. None of the reviews or any of that stuff is ported over. And I don't even think it shows up even when you search for Scary Fast. Only the Kindle version will show up. But if you have the direct link, use that. It'll get you there. If you're in the UK, and I think Japan, there's a few other Amazon marketplaces where they will print it in your country and send it to you. I don't know the pricing on that exactly. Might be like €6.99 or pounds or something. You can get it in those countries as well if you're watching from there. But if you have any questions about how to get it, technical issues, problems, whatever, just message me or comment below. And thanks again for all of the support over the last months and encouragement. It's been very fun, quite the learning process. This is really for me to beta test this entire process. I have a lot of other material to put into print form. This was just taking a long time for me to learn my templates and test the limitations of the printing process and how high can I make the resolution on the little graphical rocket on the title page if it is always going to look like it has dots or what. So, and when you guys, if you get the copy of a print version and it's got typos, I mean, there shouldn't be any typos, but if you guys find something that's wrong that everyone else who's looked at it has somehow missed, then please let me know. I will make revisions as necessary. That is the process. So thanks again, guys, and I'll write again soon.